The Netherlands is known for its cheeses worldwide, especially this one in Dutch pronounced
Gouda?
not Gouda, it's a global hit. In the Netherlands you can find cheese anywhere, and it's wholly to the people.
It's something you grew up with.
Cheese means everything to us.
I can't imagine a life without cheese.
This makes me wonder, why is the Netherlands a cheese country? And what is it like today? And what does the future of cheese production look like in the face of climate change? P.S. If you want to know why the Dutch are the tallest people, keep watching. The Netherlands is a fairly small country with a population of just under 18 million people, but they produce a lot of cheese. The country is among the top 5 cheese producers in the EU. The Dutch are also the second biggest exporters of cheese worldwide, since they can't eat all the cheese themselves. To gain insights in the Dutch cheese-making traditions, I'm in Alkmaar, popularly known as the cheese capital of the Netherlands. It has also one of the oldest cheese markets in the country, and tourists like me can see how cheese was sold back in the days. The city of Alkmaar got its weighing rights in the year 1365, but what exact year the market actually started, no one knows. In the old times, the farmers would bring the cheese to the market for selling. After the quality of cheese was checked, traders would buy it from the farmers. Then the cheese carriers would help carry the cheese in pairs of 2. Anyone who was not a part of the cheese carriers guild could not carry it. I also got the chance to carry the barrow, and trust me, it was not easy. That's because the cheese on these barrows can weigh more than 100 kilos. After the cheese is weighed and paid for, the barrow is stamped and the cheese taken away. You see, I'm from Pakistan, and for me growing up, cheese was not a very common food to find. But here in the Netherlands, you can find a variety of cheese, and some of whose names I find it hard to pronounce, like
Eidammerkaas,
Alkmaar's kaas.
Gravenstroomkaas.
Belegen, which is another complicated story that I don't even know what it is.
some Dutch cheeses are also named after cities, such as Gouda, Edammer, and Maasdammer. Some because they were produced there, others because they were traded there. To find out which is the most popular type of Gouda cheese, I visited Robert Weerman, who has spent 25 years of his life in the cheese business.
I think the middle alt. The middle alt is not too hard, not too soft, and it is an excellent taste of cheese.
But what are these age categories that the Dutch have when it comes to cheese?
We have young, we have middle alt, and we have the young one is 4 weeks. And we have an old one, is 3 years. But it's the same cheese, only 3 years older.
From Robert, I learned that the younger cheeses are softer and milder in taste. The older the cheese, the more moisture it loses and the stronger its flavor becomes. While it takes me only a few minutes to eat all that cheese, it took the Dutch years to become pioneers in it. More than a quarter of the Netherlands is below sea level. During the Golden Age in the 16th and 17th century, windmills and canals were used to pump out water and dry the land. Annemieke Schaaf, who works at the Alkmaar Cheese Museum, explains why this was good for cheese production.
When they dried the polder landscape, there was a very fertile soil remains, and that was a salty ground, and that gives the cheese a special taste that other countries don't have.
But was there anything else that helped the Dutch to excel at cheese making other than salty grounds?
The cows in the Netherlands gave more milk than the countries that surround them. And around the 19th century, America took some Dutch cows to America and started cattle breeding because they wanted to have that much of delivery of milk also. That cow was named the Holstein Friesian, and it still is our best milk cow.
Another essential factor that contributed to the country's success in cheesemaking was experience.
Already in 800 before Christ we make cheese. In all these years the development was enormous, and that's why the Netherlands is one of the best cheese-making countries of the world, and we're proud of that.
Well, that was quite a nice walk down the history. But the impact of cheese goes beyond the Dutch economy. It also impacted their language, which is why they have sayings like
Kaaskoppen.
Kaaskop, that means like you're really Dutch.
Ik wil kaas, ik ben ook een klant. Which is like, I'm Dutch, of course I want cheese.
And then we say when something is easy, that's kasi.
Today, the Netherlands exports more than $5 billion in cheese to countries like Germany, France, and Italy. The average Dutch eats around 24 kilograms of cheese. But is there a proper Dutch time to eat cheese?
Dutch time to eat cheese all over the day.
It can be everywhere in the day.
On your sandwich with lunch.
And if you ever wondered why the Dutch are the tallest people on the planet, then a good diet rich in dairy and cheese might be the answer because it's rich in calcium that is good for bones. That's what some scientists believe. But obviously good genetics and natural selection has a bigger role to play. But while consuming cheese is good for our taste buds and health, it might not be the case for our environment. And that's because animal farming is estimated to produce at least 11% of global greenhouse gases. Cow poo, which is used as organic fertilizers, also has nitrates and phosphates, which can also impact the water quality. The Dutch government is trying to reduce these emissions by cutting down on dairy farms and setting emission targets. So, what does the future hold when it comes to cheese production?
My expectation there will be less milk available, so you have to make choices on what you're going to produce from cheese, and there you have different qualities.
But are people willing to give up their beloved cheese?
I will cut it down if it's better for the environment.
We are one of the best cheese-making countries of the world, and I don't think we give that position away.
I think we're not going to lose cheese. There's going to be a solution at the end of the day.
Maybe it's gonna change because they make cheese from plants, like they make meat from plants, and then we're gonna eat different cheese.
I hope you had fun joining me in this journey because now I gotta go and devour all this cheese that I got.